Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, and we're going to touch on transfers now, right? I know we're not in the transfer window, we're not a continent DSA, mate, yeah? Scraping the barrel here, looking for the transfer. No, do you know what it is? It's because I'm thinking, and we know this, and I got asked this on the overlap by Carragher Neville, just name drop them ones as well, Matty, why don't you, Got asked on the overlap, where do Newcastle need to strengthen? And for me, I've said it all along, the number one target has to be James Maddison. And apparently, according to several news outlets this summer, the number one target will be James Maddison, followed shortly by Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay from Manchester United. Them two are the top two targets for Eddie Howe in the summer, if you're led to believe several news outlets. Now, like I say, you can Google it, it's on there. Google Maddison, McTominay, Newcastle, it'll come up for you. Enjoy yourselves, have a read through it. Better off listening to me though, do you know what I mean? Where we'll touch into what I've said in the article, talk about how I feel about it. And now, like I say, we must strengthen that midfield area in the summer. Should have done it in January, to be honest. Like I said, I think we got weakened in January, letting Shelvey go. Now, I wasn't asked about, holding Shelvey to ransom and, making him stay. Fair enough, let him move. He was coming towards the end of his contract. Yes, he could have triggered another year with a couple more appearances, but he got himself a nice cushy pension deal at Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean? That deal there is going to see him out for the next 2-3 years on the same, or if not a little bit better wage. So that sorts him and his family out. Fair enough, no problems. The problem I had was not getting a replacement in. Now, surely they would have got someone in. We had Shea Given, I was talking to him on the overlap as well. Another name drop, apologies. You know how it is. He spoke to Dan Ashworth and they did have someone lined up. So something fell through, wouldn't give us who. Or if he did, I can't see it on here. You don't want to drop him in it. Right, so Newcastle did have Shelvey's replacement lined up. They did have someone ready, midfield, come in. That's why Shelvey was let go. Eddie Howe, Shea said, was gutted that Shelvey left and didn't get replaced. More importantly, Shelvey was an integral part of the dressing room. He'd been here for years. And more importantly, like I said, though, to not get someone in, to not get another body in. Because that midfield department is weak and not the best, really, depending on the form of Willock and Sean Longstaff. Take away Bruno and Joe Linton, we need that extra person there. We need someone to make a difference, whether it be off the bench or starting. And that's why, Maddison was key for me last summer, January. The summer coming up, it's just beyond critical that we'll get him in, to be honest with you, because he would. I think if we got Maddison, we would have got top 4. Put it that way. And I don't think we will get top 4 now. So if we blew that opportunity, and I don't think it's a bad thing in a way that we don't get top 4, because I think, I don't think we're ready for Champions League football in a sense. We haven't got the squad for it. I think we'd struggle. We'd need to make a lot of signs in the summer. Due to FFP, we couldn't do that. Players you need to compete in the Champions League anyway. Yes, maybe get scraped past the group stages at best, but look last night. Round of 16, Chelsea, Dortmund, that's how tough it is. So, Champions League, top 4, yeah, I think, we would have got it. And it would still be doing better in the league. I think we might have won the cup if we had a Maddison. Someone like Maddison changes everything. He changes completely how we play. He gives us so much more in terms of output, assists, chances, goals, set pieces. He's the whole package, man. It's really important that we do get James Maddison this summer. I'd hate to see him go to Tottenham and then they finish above us, someone like that. So James Maddison's key. I've done a lot of videos on the channel of James Maddison where it looked like he would be close to signing for Newcastle United. Leicester City didn't want to let him go. Newcastle didn't want to stump up 65 million for him, 60 million plus. It's a lot of money, especially in a January window. But this summer, hopefully it can happen. He's nearing down the end of his contract, Maddison, and he's coming back from injury and he looks unreal, man. Like, he barely got a sniff at the World Cup. He had his fitness issues and stuff as well, but he's came back firing for Leicester. He's taken them up the league a little bit. The way he impacts games. It's like a bit like for us, Bruno. Bruno's got to play well, hasn't he, for Newcastle to win. Leicester have got to play well for Leicester, sorry. James Maddison, get your words out, mate. James Maddison has got to play well for Leicester to win. That's what I was attempting to say there. So, because you look at Newcastle's record with Bruno and without Bruno, we haven't won a game that Bruno hasn't played, which is remarkable. So it shows how important he is. I'm not sure what Leicester's stats are on without Maddison, but I'm sure it'll be high because everything comes through him. He makes them tick. And to get him in midfield with Bruno, Julian and Maddison, and then like I say, McTominay is in there as well. So it helps a lot, and it has us in that number 10. We can switch formations. Maddison's got to come. And I think he wants to move. I think he's flirted with the idea of Newcastle. He'll definitely be leaving Leicester. Why not Newcastle? And, Eddie Howe wants him. He is our number 1 target this summer. So yeah, let's go out and get him, pray we can get him, and he will make such a difference to us. So we've talked enough about Maddison though. What about McTominay? Scott McTominay. Now this was actually close to happening in January, and this could be, I'm not saying it was, don't quote me on share given on this one, could have been the one that we had lined up close, but Manchester United bottled it. Didn't want to let him go. It wasn't just Newcastle that were interested in McTominay. I think West Ham are lining him up to replace Declan Rice, who is eventually going to leave this summer as well. So he will be in demand, McTominay, just not in demand enough under Ten Hag. Now, he played a lot in recent years, McTominay. Gets mixed reviews from fans. I was talking to Flex about him, and he was saying, you know, he looks brilliant 1 week. He looks like a very good player, steady player, does the hard work, does the ugly stuff, but can chip in with a goal as well. He scored a couple of goals this season for Man United. But now they've got Casemiro, he kind of get in that team because Fred's starting to play a bit better as well, things like that. So he's not going to get in that team. He knows he's leaving Man United in the summer. He's one of 5 or 6 players that Ten Hag has put up for sale. You know, if you believe in these articles, he's put them up for sale. I think he'll definitely leave. Would I take him at Newcastle? Now, in January, I was against this because I think it was just underwhelming. But it depends if you couple it with a Maddison and you get 1 or 2 more, then it's nice. We're nice. I'll take it. But it just depends on what else we do. But McTominay, apparently he's going to cost 20, 30 million as well because he's young. He does play a lot of games with Scotland, but then again, fucking hell, who isn't playing games for Scotland? I'm surprised Matt Ritchie's not getting involved still. Do you know what I mean? Jesus, fuck nice. If I could seek out a long-lost relative, I'm sure I could get a game for Scotland. But McTominay, I think he's captain Scotland, to be fair to him. And I've seen him in games where he has looked very good. He does get stuck in. Against Liverpool, he was unfortunate that he's good tracking back and his tackle then bounced into the path of Salah for one of the goals, I think it was. But McTominay, I think he would have good balance to Newcastle's midfield. He would do a lot of that pretty work that some players might not. It would allow Bruno to go further forward. And I think that's Eddie Howe's logic behind it. Get in a McTominay, allow Bruno to flourish. You know, although we do have Joe Linton in there who can do that stuff, you can have both of them there and just let Bruno and Maddison go on an absolute madness. Go crazy. Enjoy themselves. And everyone would enjoy watching that. So I'm for it in that sense. Like I remember in January taking the piss, you know, calling him Scott McLongstaff, because I just think, what's the difference between a Longstaff and McTominay? And to be honest, on Longstaff's good day, what is it? You know, but there is something in McTominay. He's not playing Manchester United, well, until recent weeks, for no reason. You know, I know they haven't been as big and brilliant as Man United have been over the years, unfortunately, we know that, but there's definitely a player in there, and I think with how he's coaching and fulfill his potential, I think he'll have a very good career, and I'll take him at Newcastle. He's not a bad player to have now as well when we're building towards something. Remember, if we do get Europe that Thursday, Sunday, or Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday, if we get top 4. So there's a lot of games to be had next year, so we will need to really add more depth, and I think McTominay will be good depth. Whether he starts, see how he gets on. Obviously, he'll want to start because he's warming the bench at Man United. Why would you swap that for Newcastle United in a sense where they'll be playing Champions League and stuff, you'd have thought, and that. But I mean, McTominay, yeah, I'd take him. I'd take him in for those reasons, you know, depth, balance, and growth. I think he's got a lot more going for him. But apparently those are the top transfer targets for Newcastle United and Eddie Howe this summer. Scott McTominay and James Maddison. Now, they would combine well, to be fair. Like I said, you'd have Maddison going forward, McTominay just crunching into people. Why not? I'm for that. You know what I mean? I'm for that. And to be fair, the transfer rumours have started to really hot up again this week. There hasn't been much other than Newcastle United news, to be fair, on that after the Carabao Cup game. City defeat, things have went fairly quiet, to be honest. Even though we do have a massive game at home on Sunday against Wolves. Buzzing for that one, I'll be there. Fan cams after the game, usual spot outside Shiraz Bar, so get yourselves there if you want to chat. Well, hopefully, got to be talking about a win, man. We've got to be getting goals, but I'll talk more about the game against Wolves in Friday's preview. I think I'll bring that out on Friday. Keg is currently doing a video over on Talking Wolves right now, the Wolves fan channel. He's on there, so check that out. He's doing a preview with the lads over there. Good lads down there in Wolves on that channel. So if you want to have a look at that one, see what Keg and the Wolves fan got to say about it, check it out. Tomorrow, I'll probably bring you a video on something completely random like this one. any ideas, help us out? You know what I mean? Clearly struggling. Just joking. I've got them in my notes. But if you do want to hear about something, pop them in the comments. I'll think about it. Because there's always stuff to talk about in Newcastle. We'll always dig something out, isn't there? And then Friday, the big preview ahead of the big game on Sunday. It's not a big game on paper, is it? Newcastle Wolves. It's been a draw a lot of times over the years, but it's big for Newcastle because we have to get back to winning ways. We've got to score some bloody goals and get some bloody points. 3 points in the bag. That'll do for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Drop your comments below. Will you be happy with, I'm sure you'll be happy with Maddison, or maybe not. Let us know. More importantly, let us hear what you think about Scott McTominay. I reckon that'll defeat a lot of people, that one. And yeah, don't forget, smash that like button, and I'll see you on the next one.